Hello, class. If you're looking to change your eating habits and your lifestyle, whether it's just to lose a little bit of weight or just a few inches, or to be healthier in life in general, then keto is the way for you. By research conducted, if on a keto diet, one can not only reduce unwanted fat and inches around their waist, as said before, but can also lower your risk of getting heart disease, hypertension, which is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, which can lead to heart disease, and also can prevent type 2 diabetes or at least help maintain it if already diagnosed with it. Now, we have all gone through that rough phase in life where we get a little big or we get a little rounder. We have a few pounds gained over the years or a few months. Then all of a sudden, we have a couple events coming up. Cousins getting married, best friends having a bachelorette party, and we're in dire need of losing weight. Well, let me tell you this. By getting on keto, even if it's just a month away, or even 2 weeks away, if truly dedicated and putting yourself on it, you can and will lose inches and pounds. Now, if you're about 6 months away, you'll even look even greater with it. Now, not only that, but in the future, when we're all older, we all love our bodies and we want to live as long as possible. Well, by getting on keto and watching what we eat, we can also, as mentioned before, reduce having to get these illnesses that can potentially end our life even sooner than expected, which is something I know none of us want. Now, I myself have been on keto. Actually, I did my first dance at keto this past June 2019. And at that moment, I was 227 pounds. And I work at a clinic, and my provider was telling me, hey, you need to drop a little weight. Your blood pressure is rising, which is correlated with weight and as well as genetics, but mostly with weight. She was telling me, you got to drop it, man, or else keep gaining. You don't watch what you eat. It's going to get worse. You have to be medicated to control your blood pressure. And that's something no one wants. Well, I started keto, but also happened I had shoulder surgery as well. And I was out of commission for at least a good 2 months without lifting, running, or anything really. And just by doing that and staying at home and following a keto plan, I went from 227 pounds to about 205 pounds. It's about 22 pounds in a little less than 2 months. And that's without exercise or any kind of movement at all. So think about this. If you want to do it, keto's the way to go. Throw in some exercise with it, you'll see much greater results than I have so far. Now, moving on. Now, what is keto? Why is it called keto? What's the big deal about it? What does it do for us? What's happening inside my body? Well, to be on keto is to essentially eliminate all carbs, which is your breads, your tortillas, your rices, starches, all that good stuff, or at least keep it to a minimal where you have no more than 50 grams of carbs per day in order to stay in a stage called ketosis, which ketosis is a metabolic stage that our body will get into once we use up all of our fuel, which is carbohydrates. Once all carbs are eliminated in our body will then start looking for a source. And what source does it find? Our fat storage, where essentially fat is energy. And instead of now not having to burn through the carbs, it is now burning through the fat. And that is when we enter that stage, that metabolic stage of ketosis, where we're using fat as fuel now, which is where we will see the weight loss as we are literally using our fat as fuel instead of carbs. Now, essentially, if you cannot take carbs away and you need that little fix, as I said before, through research, minimally to stay in ketosis, maximum, is about 50 carbs per day. Now, it depends on your body, how your body works. Everyone's different, so people can go around and go ahead and play with this and see how it works for them. But through research and evidence, 50 carbs is usually the max amount of carbohydrates per day that one will use in order to stay in ketosis. Now, along with all the weight benefits, there's also health benefits. By choosing to be on a ketogenic diet, and if you have high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, or cholesterol, you can improve your health by essentially just switching to this diet. Now, in our country today, 9% of our population has diabetes. And of that 99% that has diabetes, 95% have type 2 diabetes. Now, yes, it can be inherited by family, which is unfortunate, but on the long run of the scale, it's mostly you have type 2 because of your eating habits, your weight, and your lack of exercise. Now, in multiple studies performed throughout the Middle East, researchers would gather people with high body mass indexes and with type 2 diabetes as well. And when they did these studies, they put them on the ketogenic diet as well as a low caloric diet to separate them. Same same workout regimens, but just ketogenic versus low calorie. Now, the results are astonishing. When it came down to lowered sugars and diabetics having keto, they saw a 1.5 percentage reduced in their triglycerides or blood sugars, 1.5% times more than those that were on a low calorie diet. Now, that's a big percentage. We may not think about it, but we're talking about diabetics and their blood sugar levels having 1.5% times more, times less than those opposing on the low calorie diet is a big difference and something they should look at if looking to better themselves and their health. Now, insulin levels as well, which is important in diabetics' life. They were also shown to be decreased on a keto diet based on an article off of the New England Journal of Medicine. Now, with their study, they showed that on those on a keto diet versus in those on just a low caloric diet saw 20% of triglycerides lower than those on a low caloric diet, which only saw 4% based on their averages before that. Now 20 versus 4%, if I'm needing to get my triglycerides down, and I need it now because I'm on that verge of, hey, it's either 6 feet under or up on the plains with the smile, the sunshine on me. I'm gonna go with the ketogenic diet, especially all these researches that have been going through. Now, when it comes to cholesterol, we have good and bad, which it comes to the point where people say, well, if we eat too much fat, isn't our cholesterol going to build up? Why, yes, that may be true, but there's good fats and there's bad fats, just as there is good cholesterol and there is bad cholesterol. Now, the good cholesterol is called HDL, which has helped the body to increase our metabolism and reduce the risk of a heart disease. In a study provided by the Healthline website, it showed that being on a ketogenic diet versus a low caloric diet, as well as previous studies did, showed an increase in HDL and produced a more higher weight loss than those on the keto opposed to those on a low caloric. That's another advantage. Well, not only does it lower your insulin levels, your triglycerides, your sugar levels, but it will also reduce your bad cholesterol and up your good cholesterol, resulting in a much more weight loss than on just your regular low calorie diet. Now, again, from personal experience, I have to advocate for it that it helped me health wise. It lowered my blood pressure and it avoided me from having to be dependent on taking blood pressure medication, which is something that no one wants to go through. And it's just knowing that you have to take medicine to stabilize your life and basically how your heart functions, how your system works. It can be downing on you. And just by switching over to the ketogenic diet, eliminating carbs, or just eating at least maximum 50 a day, it helped me make my body more healthy than it was before. And all of that just by taking away some foods and eating a certain way. Now, being on keto will not only benefit someone short term and cause immediate results, but it can also lead to an everlasting life of good physical and mental health as well. In the US, per the CDC, in a study done in 2016, 39.8% of Americans were considered obese. 39.8% of all of the United States were considered obese, that being about 93 million people. In just our country alone. Now, with obesity comes many health concerns and many health problems: diabetes, high cholesterol, the high risk of having a stroke, heart attack, and many other things. Having a health concern, having a health issue is a concern, but tagging along the price that comes with it to just bring the stressors onto you, knowing you're obese, knowing you have this, that, A, B, and C, not only will affect you physically, but mentally. And that's where, by just switching to keto, you cannot just only eliminate the bad foods, which essentially are carbs, sugars, and all that, but you will have a healthier lifestyle, and you'll see it as you will see weight being dropped off. You will see your weight shrinking. You will see your blood sugars, your cholesterol, all that good stuff start going down. You'll see a rise in your mood. By changing to a ketogenic diet, it will drop how many obese people we have in the US. Not only is it just an assumption, it is a fact, and I believe in it. If we were to eliminate all breads, all carbs, guarantee it that obesity percentage of 39.8 would drop down to at least less than 10% just by switching to keto. Long term wise, just by switching to keto at an early age and avoiding all these health factors, all these risk factors, you can potentially live a longer and healthier life. As said before, not only will you be able to see it physically, but mentally, people will feel much better. I have gone over what keto is and how it works by using fat as fuel. And, and once we eliminate or reduce the amount of carbs we take, it targets our fat, which enables us to get into the metabolic stage of ketosis, thus keto diet. Also went over the health concerns and health issues that keto can come and essentially eliminate or reduce. And it's just essential and vital that we take care of our bodies. I've given well-informed facts that can lead you to choosing a ketogenic diet as the one you pick when you need that edge in life and you're looking to make that change. Whether, as said before, whether it be just losing a few pounds around the waist, just looking good in shape for that next wedding, that big event, or you just see yourself in life and you're like, I need to change. I'm going to die if I don't do anything. I need to do it now. If you want to live a long and healthy life, don't choose a keto diet as a diet for only substantial time, but choose it as a lifestyle and embrace the long journey that keto will give you to enjoy those future moments in life.